Hey everyone! So I just did a book review and that one's already uploaded, but I had to talk about this one. I literally just finished this book probably 10 minutes ago and I can't stop thinking about it. It is so good. So I read the other book that Baker Publishing sent me and I can't tell you how much I love this book. This is Where the Road Bends by Rachel Fordham. If you can recall, this was on my most anticipated release list, and yeah, now it's on my favorites of all time. I loved this book so much. It's being released actually tomorrow, so I'm glad that I put out this video now. So if any of you are excited about getting it, you can get it like tomorrow, or have your library order it, or just get it. It's so good. So if you like historical fiction mixed with romance, this is such a great book. I highly recommend it if you like, the author said it was a mix of like Les Miserables meets the Old West. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Redeeming Love, but I love this one so much. Just the main hero character was probably one of the best heroes I've ever read in a book. I absolutely loved him. His name is Quincy, and I'm still all excited, can you tell? So this book is about Nora and Quincy, and Nora has been kind of not really a prearranged marriage, but she's losing her land in the beginning of the book, and she is going to marry this man, Jake, just to save her land. He's like 20 years older than her, and she's only doing it just to keep her family legacy. Well, this man all of a sudden appears in her fields, bloodied and broken, and vultures are around him, and she attacks them and takes him into her home to kind of heal him and get him back on his feet. And they become really good friends almost immediately. I love their friendship throughout the book, and we see their relationship grow throughout the book. I'm trying not to spoil anything, but if Quincy's our main hero, you kind of can tell that he's going to end up with her, so I don't think that's a spoiler. But Nora helps Quincy, and he tells her about his past and his past problems almost immediately. So she knows what happened and how he came to be in her fields, pretty much beaten almost to death. And she helps him realize that he could have a new start and make something of himself and try harder. And he took it really to heart after he left her farm, and we see him 2 years later. He owns a hotel and the next door store and cafe. And so we see how he kind of got those places and owned those places. And even though he made a few mistakes along the way in getting those things, I really loved how the story ended. It was really great. I really love Nora's story. So spoiler alert, just so you know, if you don't want to know, but I want to tell you a little bit. I'm trying not to spoil anything, but she does end up losing her land, and because Jake finds out about him, even though nothing happened, he was just there, and she happened to help heal him, but Jake thought there was something going on, and he ended up spreading rumors and decided, I'm just going to buy your land and pretty much kick you off. So that's what happened to poor Nora, and she finds herself pretty much destitute, finding very little work, who won't pay her that much in her own town. So she moves to the next town over, and she ends up in, unfortunately, a saloon type situation where she ends up in a contract. And thankfully nothing happened to her there. She was badly beaten by the owner, but nothing physical besides that happened. But Quincy comes, and he made a mistake that I'm not going to spoil that part, but he found something after he left her place in the items that she gave him when he left. But he wants to make amends. Quincy thinks that she is married to Jake, so he writes her a letter explaining what happened after he left her. But the letter comes back, and so he's like, why did it come back? I thought she was married. Why didn't they deliver it? So he leaves to visit her on her farm and finds out she's gone. he's married, this guy Jake is married to somebody else, has a child on her farm, and she's nowhere around. So he goes in search for her. He goes to the town, and he finds a doctor that took care of him as well, and he tells him that Nora went to a different town, and hopefully he'll be able to find her. So he goes, and he finds her at the saloon, and he pretty much tears the place apart and rescues her and brings her out of there and brings her back to his town and his hotel and stuff. And it's the sweetest love story. I loved how they became best friends and then fell in love. At first I thought it was going to be like an insta-love situation, but because you could tell that something was going on, but it wasn't super strong at the beginning. So I really loved how their friendship kind of grew throughout the book, and they start falling in love with each other, and I absolutely loved it. Okay, so spoilers then. If you read it, they weren't super spoilery. It's just a main plot line, so I tried really hard not to spoil anything for you all, but I so loved this book so much. And if you pick it up, please let me know, because this will definitely be on my favorites. And yeah, like, look, I'm even matching today. Like, I wore this shirt on purpose, but I didn't think it was going to be that close to matching. So that's how much I love the book, because I'm matching it. Anyway, so thank you, Baker Publishing, for sending me this book. And I absolutely loved it. It will be on my favorite shelf. I cannot recommend this high enough if you love a very sweet romance historical fiction. Highly, 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 highly recommend this one. It was so good. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Please pick this up because it was so good, and I don't think you'll be disappointed at all because it was so good. Okay, so I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.